Welcome back into that Sean podcast. We got a special episode for you. Gonna have a little bit of fun. We are going to be doing redrafts, starting with the 2017 draft. Cat Daddy, you nervous? How you feeling about this?
Owning the number one pick, I feel really good about this. Really good. Absolutely. We've done so many mock drafts, but we've never done a redraft. So this is kind of exciting. I like it.
All right. Without further ado, we don't like wasting time on these things. Cat Daddy, you got the Cleveland Browns on the clock, redrafting. Who you taking?
All right, 2017, the Cleveland Browns took Myles Garrett, and I actually had to sit and think at least for a couple of seconds. Myles Garrett,
don't lie.
I said a couple. I didn't say it that long. But Myles Garrett is a really good pick. I think in real life, Cleveland did a great job with this pick, but this is the redraft.
Let's be honest.
Right? This is knowing what we know now. Knowing what we know now, what would we do?
Being 40-20.
If that's the case, then the Cleveland Browns hit the jackpot in this redraft. Hugh Jackson will love him some of Patrick Mahomes' strong arm. So we're going Patrick Mahomes, quarterback, Texas Tech.
All right, that brings up me on the clock. We're not changing any of the trades or anything. We're going with it as it ended. So I've got the Chicago Bears with the number 2 overall pick. They're not taking Mitchell Trubisky this time. I could think about Deshaun Watson, but I'm not because, there's issues. So Myles Garrett doesn't fall too far. Myles Garrett goes number 2. We pair Myles Garrett with Khalil Mack, and let's just wreck some fools.
Man, that's a good pick. That really is. So I'm sitting on the clock at number 3. Now this is San Francisco from the Chicago trade-up.
Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, we're not taking Solomon. San Francisco does have a need for quarterback, but it doesn't need one here. And we got Deshaun Watson with those legal issues, right? Would it be better in San Francisco?
I know who you should pick.
The more important need that needs to be filled is edge. And since Myles Garrett is off the board, I'm going to
on the board.
the University of Wisconsin. I'm saying TJ Watt, come on over to the West Coast.
There he is, TJ Watt. That's exactly who I thought you were going to take. Next up, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They took Leonard Fournette. It never worked out. They never used him correctly. Nor do you want to take a running back in the top 5 or even the top 10, in my opinion.
There are 2 in this draft. Man.
I know. So, I have to look at what Jacksonville might need here. And honestly, one of the reasons why it didn't work out was their offensive line was kind of not good.
Kind of horrible.
They had actually a very good defense. So, yes, I could probably look at corner. I could look at safety to upgrade on that defense. But I am actually going to go a little bit out of the box. And I'm going to take Ryan Ramczyk here at the number 4 overall spot.
That's not outside the box at all. That's a really solid pick right there. It is. And actually looking at it, there were 2 running backs taken in the top 10 in this draft.
Nonsense.
Which is very crazy. But I'm on the clock with Tennessee from the Los Angeles Rams. So in real life, the Tennessee Titans drafted Corey Davis. So here,
in fake life,
the Tennessee needs to grab an outside playmaker for Marcus Mariota. Now, in real life, Tennessee was on the right track, but we got a guy who's playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like, this guy is straight up baller. We are not letting Cooper Kupp fall to the second, third round, wherever he was originally drafted. So Cooper Kupp, this pick is from the Los Angeles Rams. That's a little poetic justice. So here we go.
Cooper Kupp, that's a good pick. Good pick. Next up, we have the New York Jets. And I know how good Jamal Adams can be, but unfortunately, I don't think his position value, considering what he does. This is not this draft. We're not talking about Kyle Hamilton. Sorry, Jamal. I don't think you're him. So I am drafting them a corner. It's, in my opinion, the best corner in this draft, who was the top corner taking in this draft, and that is going to be Marshawn Lattimore at Ohio State.
All right. Now, this is where things start to become a little bit more challenging.
I know who I'd pick here. I know exactly who I'd pick here.
All right. So we're sitting with the Los Angeles Chargers. In real life, they drafted Michael Williams out of Clemson.
Not a bad pick.
But
not
here,
a bad pick.
Not at all. I mean, it took a couple of years for him to really get going. But in fake life, the clock is winding down on Phillip Rivers. So exactly you either got to give him weapons to succeed, or you have to draft a successor. So if we're staying with the same thought process of let's give him the weapons to succeed, we're going with Chris Godwin.
Ooh, that's not who I would pick, but that's still a good pick. All right, now I have the Carolina Panthers. They took Christian McCaffrey. At this point, Cam is still good Cam. He's still good Cam. At the same time, you know who isn't as good as he was at this given point, and this is a great position to take his successor, have him learn a little bit, even though he didn't need to really in this league. Greg Olsen was kind of winding down at this point. So, at this point, Carolina Panthers get Cam another weapon in George Kittle.
I was trying to see if I'd be able to beat you to George Kittle, but no, I was not.
You know that wasn't gonna. I thought you were gonna do it with the Chargers because it made so much sense for the Chargers. But you went Godwin, so I was like, "Oh, Kittle's on the board," and that would make so much sense for Carolina in this redraft as you look, because Kittle just a huge target with a huge catching radius that Cam would just. It'd be difficult for Cam not to hit him.
It would be.
Now you have the ability to right a huge injustice.
So the Cincinnati Bengals in real life, they took John Ross from, I think it was Washington. Oh, man. Yikes. So if we're looking at the 2017 Bengals 16 season, the pass rush was a major issue for them. 17, the team didn't retain Mohamed Sanu or Marvin Jones. Then in 17, AJ Green's missing time with an injury. So here's a tough decision. Do I go for a wide receiver in this position, or do I attack the edge? And I like the idea of picking Trey Hendrickson here at number 9 for Cincinnati, which is fantastic because he's on Cincinnati right now and he's currently going to be playing in the Super Bowl. So they don't have to wait 4 years to fix that issue. They just draft him right away.
All right. So I'm going to basically destroy my own self right here, right now. I said I shouldn't take a running back in the top 10. But I'm going to take a running back in the top 10. Kansas City missed out on Patrick Mahomes. But there is an offensive weapon, a guy who can catch 80 balls a year, who is staring Andy Reid in the face, a guy who reminds him of his old guy, Brian Westbrook. Christian McCaffrey going to the Kansas City Chiefs right here. It just makes so much sense because they're going to use him as more than just a running back.
Yep, that one's good. Man, all right. So
now,
I'm on.
Latimer's gone.
I know I'm on the clock at number 11 with New Orleans. I originally did Marshawn Lattimore, but coming into this draft, New Orleans had the need with edge, with cornerback, with tackle. As much as I'd like to take Ryan Ramczyk right now, you already took him. As much as I like to take Marshawn Lattimore, you already took him. So we're going to follow what they did in real life. We're going to go cornerback. We're going to go Marlon Humphrey.
Marlon Humphrey, good pick. All right, next up, I've got the Houston Texans, and I cannot in good consciences let them have Deshaun Watson with the issues going on, and not to mention Watson would have been taken earlier if he didn't have the issues going on. So now I have to figure out what the Houston Texans needed at that given time where I cannot take quarterback. The offense actually was not super atrocious other than the quarterback situation, but that defense might have needed a little bit of a jump start. So to add to JJ Watt there, we're going to give them Jonathan Allen, defensive end tackle combination out of Alabama.
All right, up next at 13, I have the Arizona Cardinals, and our top needs are cornerback, edge, and Carson Palmer is nearing the end of his career. So, cornerback, who do we get? Do I like anybody there?
Hassan Reddick.
Oh yeah, they took Hassan Reddick in real life.
There's a corner on the board that I would take, though. I'll say that there is a awesome corner on the board,
and that's who I'm looking at because right now the next edge player literally is Hassan Reddick on my board, but I don't want to take him here. I want to get Tre'Davious White instead.
Tre'Davious White, yes,
from the LSU.
So next up, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. They went edge. They took Derek Burnett. And he has been, let's say, underwhelming at best. With that, looking at these other edge guys, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of a lot of them. So Hassan Reddick does not fall too far. He's going to fall to the Eagles here at 14. Maybe the Eagles deploy him a little bit better than Arizona did.
All right, number 15, I'm sitting here with the Indianapolis Colts, who had taken safety Malik Hooker. Now, defense is a huge area of opportunity for them. I like the direction they went with safety because linebacker was also a need for them. So I'm going to get myself my safety linebacker hybrid. We're going Jamal Adams.
Ooh, yeah, Jamal Adams fell in the draft right there. All right, next up, Baltimore had their perfect pit fall to them. Marlon Humphrey, cornerback out of Alabama, but they can't have him. Can't have him. But we're still going secondary. I'm actually going to give them not a corner. I'm going to give him a dynamic safety. Oh, Sean's wondering, wait, who you going to pick? Who you going to
I already
pick?
know who that would be for me.
I'm going to pick Eddie Jackson,
Ooh.
also out of Alabama.
Not the safety I would have gone with, but it's not a bad pick.
And it's a Baltimore pick.
All right, 17. We're sitting with the Washington Redskins.
At the time.
At
The
the
Washington
time.
Commanders. Hello, Commander. I'm
going to keep calling them the Washington football team. It's going to take me at least a year to call them the Washington Commanders.
All right, but they did pick Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen has now been picked earlier.
No longer available.
So,
we could use an interior defensive lineman, but it's a really weak class after Jonathan Allen, so you ruined my whole plan. They could draft a top quarterback available to stop playing the will they, won't they game with Kirk Cousins. Let's see, what do we need? Interior defensive line, linebacker, quarterback. Let's see who's available for linebacker. Nope, not excited about that. Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to do the Dan Snyder pick. It's going to happen. The fall has ended. Deshaun Watson, come on down.
Oh my God. I couldn't do it. I wasn't going to pick him.
It's for Dan Snyder. I did on my inner Dan Snyder to make this pick.
Wasn't going to pick him. I couldn't do it. All right.
It's fitting for that Washington franchise.
Tennessee Titans are up. They took a Dory Jackson. Dory Jackson was a pretty solid pick for them, but he didn't stick with the team. I'm going to give them a different type of corner, a corner that worked out for him, same position. So I'm going to give him Shaquille Griffin.
Ooh. I like that one. All right. So I'm sitting on the clock, 19, with Tampa Bay, who originally had taken O.J. Howard, tight end, out of
Who has not worked out,
Alabama.
To say the least.
Has not. It would have been so great if George Kittle had fallen here. That would have been fantastic.
Oddly, he did not.
Strange, but I didn't expect him to fall to 19 either. So we're looking at the 2017 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston likes to throw, so we could look at adding a wide receiver, and there's decent ones available at this spot.
There's one in particular I would think will work out with Jameis.
Yep, but also on offense, we have the Duggernauts. We have the muscle hamster. We have Doug Martin, who is coming off a poor season where he averaged less than 3 yards per carry.
Oh, well, you got a guy who's going to average more than that.
And he had to deal with a suspension. So Tampa Bay can move on from him. And that is the ultimate plan because Tampa Bay is going to select Dalvin Cook.
Ooh. Very dynamic. Very dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Denver Broncos on the clock. They picked Garrett Bowles. And Garrett Bowles had a pretty good season last year, but his career has not been great. So I'm going to go offensive line, but I'm not going tackle. I'm not going Garrett Bowles. I think I am going tackle. It's not Garrett Bowles. I'm going Dion Dawkins.
Ooh.
Ha-ha!
Yeah,
Take
I like
that.
that one. I like that. I think he's able to play both interior and tackle, which makes it so much better. All right, so I'm sitting on the clock with the Detroit Lions at number 21. Originally, they had taken Jared Davis or Gerard Davis from Florida.
Who?
Exactly. So sitting at 19, we could use another edge to pair with Ezekiel Ansah.
Good.
But
if there's one available that you like. Oh, no, 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 no. You know who you got to take. You know who you have to take here.
I'm looking at like the big needs are edge, linebacker, wide receiver.
No, no, no. Linebacker slash safety?
Linebacker. Who else we got? Who's linebacker? Safety.
Who do we have at safety?
This is a pretty loaded safety class.
There's one big name.
I see 3 big names.
Still out there?
Yeah.
But there's one in particular, like, you got to stop his fall.
Fall. I don't know. If we're looking at safety, then I got to stay with the University of Florida. I'm going to go Marcus May.
Okay. I think the guy I'm talking about is better, but Marcus May is very good. All right. I've got Miami up. Charles Harris is who they took. Charles Harris did not work out. I'm trying to think who else did Miami have? Who was their safeties at the time? Because I don't know if I can let this guy slide past Miami.
I can't remember the safeties. Not for Miami.
Well, doesn't matter. They're not taking Charles Harris. This guy also can blitz, but he also is just a monster in coverage. They're going Buda Baker out of Washington.
Nice.
That's who I was thinking for Detroit.
All right, so number 23, we're with the New York football playing Giants, who had originally taken Evan Engram from Ole Miss. Let's see. The Giants have had the same issue they have now as what they had 5 years ago. Offensive tackle. Eric Flowers is not working out, right? Not working out.
Yeah, and he's out there for them to take.
Let me see. Found him. We're gonna out of Western Michigan, Taylor Moton.
All right, that's a solid pick. That's a solid pick. Good one. All right, next up, I have the then Oakland Raiders. They took Garyon Conley. No, we don't like that pick. We could go secondary still. I think there is another safety out there that I possibly may like. Trying to see who else is out there that I would like to give them. I think I'm actually going to go with an edge hybrid linebacker player, and I'm going to give them Zach Cunningham.
Ooh, I like that one.
So,
all
you
right.
were up next, sir.
I got Cleveland again, and now the Cleveland Browns have landed their franchise quarterback. They now need to focus on the defensive deficiency. So we need safety, we need edge. I'm not a big fan of these edge guys right here, but I do like who we got at safety. I want me some Marcus Williams from Utah.
All right. Got Marcus Williams coming off the board. Next up, I have Atlanta. Oh, Lord. Atlanta has issues all over the place. Defense. Or all over the place on defense. At this point, their offense was spectacular. But their defense had multiple problems. They wanted to go edge. They took Takarsky McKinley.
It didn't work. McKinley.
Didn't work out. So I'm going actually to go interior. And I'm going to give them Larry Ogunjobi. Beef up their interior.
All right. So we got a little Larry Ogunjobi.
Screwed you, Buffalo.
That's okay.
I'm screwed with the Cowboys, too.
Mhm. All right, Buffalo number 27. We got this pick from Kansas City. Let's see. We could use a quarterback. We may need to focus on secondary since I think we just lost Stephon Gilmore. Let's see who our cornerbacks are. Let's focus on cornerback. Let's go Kenny Moore from Valdosta State.
There you go. There you go. All right, so the Cowboys are up next. And they made the dumb, just horrid
Taco
of Taco Charlton. And yes, they needed edge. I'm going to ignore edge because there's no other edge guy I really like right now. They wanted Tack. Tack didn't turn out to be that great either. There's not really any other edge guy that I really like in this particular draft for this particular spot. So instead, I'm going to beef up this offense. And when you look at their weapons at the time, where Jason Wood, Des Bryant, their other receivers were not up to par. Terrence Williams, come on, get it out of here. So at this point, we're getting more dynamic on offense. We're going to give a true number 2, and we're going to get Juju Smith-Schuster.
Nice. Juju, who may actually end up in Dallas this offseason. Who knows?
That's what I hear. All right, next up,
Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns.
I got them for the 3rd time. So we drafted Patrick Mahomes number 1. We drafted Marcus Williams number 25. We trade up with Green Bay and get to the 29 spots. We got our quarterback. We got our safety.
New receiver.
We need a receiver. Yeah, we could use an edge. But yeah,
I don't like this edge class at all.
No, it was pretty bad outside of.
There is a receiver
Watt
who
Garrett.
has had a good career. He just had a bad season last year.
Yeah, and it's kind of who I was looking at with Mr. Kenny Galladay, the $72 million man.
All right, next up, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who took TJ Watt. Unfortunately, TJ is not here, my guys. Let's see. Who in the world? Because, I mean, we're not getting TJ Watt at this stage now. And the guys I'm looking at, I don't like a lot of it. But at the time, they did sort of still have a safety need. And I'm going to go with a kind of out of the box type pick. And I'm going to take Chuck Clark. Man, we took, what, 4 or 5 safeties in the first round? It was a good safety class.
Man, it was a good safety class. It was a good running back class, too. I mean, we're not a big fan of drafting running backs in round 1 in real life. But you're thinking this class had Christian McCaffrey. Then it had Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler, Leonard Fournette, Aaron Jones, James Conner, Kareem Hunt. This was a really good running back class. Underrated.
What? You have San Francisco on the clock?
Man.
What are you taking? Stop avoiding the pick.
I know. San Francisco 29. Who did we take? Number 2 or number 3? We took TJ Watts. So I think we could use an offensive tackle, but no good ones are available. We could use a safety, but a lot of the really good safeties are gone.
Yep.
We're going to take a swing at quarterback. We're going to draft Mitchell Trubisky from the University of North Carolina,
Ooh,
which is
Mitchell Trubisky still goes in the first round.
This is where he should have been valued in real life.
All right, next up, I have those New Orleans Saints. They originally took Ryan Ramczyk. I don't like any other tackles here, but there is a running back need. I do not like Alvin Kamara right now. Alvin Kamara is so toxic you can't even touch him. And honestly, compared to what this other guy's been doing recently, Alvin Kamara has not been as good. So, Cat Daddy, you know a little bit about the guy I'm about to take with the 32nd pick in the 2017 NFL Draft.
Is it the guy from Western Colorado?
Austin Eckler. Woo! Let's have some fun. Imagine Austin Eckler with Drew Brees.
I like this pick because I think Austin Eckler is a really good player, but I also don't like this pick because I know we're doing first round, but I'm sneaking one more pick in because I didn't get a chance to pick for Green Bay because they traded out of the first round, but they had the 33rd pick because they traded with Cleveland, and my pick at number 33 was going to be Austin Eckler. So you have foiled that, but sir, you didn't foil everything because
you can
my
take Joe
plan
Mixon.
B.
Ooh, who's the
This
plan
is
B?
me. This is me knowing now, taking it then, like Back to the Future style.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Jordy Nelson's near the end. I know that Randall Cobb's near the end. So somehow Mike Williams from Clemson has fallen all the way to the 33rd pick, and Green Bay spends a high draft pick on a wide receiver.
There you go. All right. That is our redraft. Everybody tell us what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like, what we're crazy about. Say what you want to say. Let us know.